Hi, fans. So, ngayon, ituro ko sa inyo itong methods of sampling. Pero before we talk about itong methods of sampling, you have to understand what sample is. So, yung population, basically, yun yung ano, collection ng participants. So, for example, let's say population of grade 10 students. Okay? Tapos sa sample, let's say, I'll use yung study ng grade 12 views sa group nila. So, sa sample nila, dinivide nila yon sa mga lilipat ng seton, sa mga nililipat ng seton, at sa strand din, kung ano yung bakit cubes, bakit stem, bakit ABM. Sorry. So, yan yung sample. So, nakadivide siya into subgroups ng population. So, let's say population is grade 10. Yung sample is yung mga future youth students, future STEM students, at future ATM students. Let's say ganun. So, kumbaga, subgroup siya ng isang population. Yan. So, so paano siya? Paano yung mga sampling? How is it divided into groups, basically? Or paano naipili yung uh, mga sasama sa interview or sasama sa questionnaire or sa survey? So, meron tayong mga methods of sampling. Okay, so first is random sampling. So, sorry, no ba ako? Sa random sampling, basically, by chance siya. So, isang example dito is raffle or draw lots. Pwede rin yung, ano ba pwede? Let's say, wait lang, isa pa. Isa pang example is yung sa, hindi siya pilihan. Or on draw lots siya. Basta anything na random or by chance, random sampling siya. Basta yung clue is, or yung keyword is chance. Systematic sampling, it's not necessarily chance or random, but it uses an algorithm, which is yung selecting every kth number. So, one example is that there are 5,000 families sa isang syudad. So, dito, kailangan lang 50 families out of 5,000. So, pwedeng mag-random sampling lang, raffle lang yan. So, 50 times mag-raffle hanggang makuha ng 50 families. Sa systematic, we have an algorithm na yung 100 subject will be selected. So, let's say, at first, pili ako ng random number from 1 to 100. So, let's say, ang number ko is 68. Then, yung sample will consist siya ng subjects or yung mga families, sa case na to, yun na yung number sa 68, 168, 268, 368. So, pwede 68 family, 168 family, 268 family, 368 family, 468 family, so on, hanggang magkaroon tayo ng 50 families in total. So, kumbaga, at first, nakalista lahat ng families. So, let's say, number one, Passion family. Number two, Dalagpa family. Number three, yung Morales family. So, gano'n siya, nakalist siya. Tapos, sa 68 family, 168 family, yun. Sila may pili sa maging interview or kung sino mang magiging sagot ng survey, mga ganun. So, ito naman, stratified sampling. This is more on divide sa groups. So it's similar sa cluster, pero well, let's try to differentiate. So stratified sampling, ito yung ginamit ng example ko kanina, which is yung sa grade 10 nakadivide sa UM, STEM, ABM. Dito, similar na tao. So may similar agenda, similar goals, similar passions. Hindi siya stratified. So homogeneous siya. So lahat ng mga samples or lahat ng mga individuals are like each other. So, like, iba yung mga agendas nila. Ay, sorry. Same yung agendas nila, same yung mga goals nila, ganun, ganun. So, for example, let's say gender. So, let's say, sa isang population, nakadivide siya sa mga, let's say, straight, tapos mga gay, lesbians, bisexuals. Nakadivide siya sa ganun. Tapos sa race, let's say, Caucasian, Asian, mga ganun. Nakadivide siya. Geography, it's geography more on ano siya. Let's say for Filipino, Malaysian, Indonesian, Singaporean, mga ganun. So, mga same na tao, or yung mga, hindi man same na tao, yung mga same goals, same agendas, or characteristics, nasa isang group. So, isang example din is yung grade 10 na willing mag-STEM, grade 10 na willing mag-UMS, grade 10 na willing mag-ABM, naka-divide into groups. Next, cluster sampling. Ito naman, doesn't have to be homogeneous. Ito yung difference sa kanila. So it's divided into clusters. So isa by example is you want to estimate the average income of a province with 1 million households. Siyempre, ang hirap i-estimate yung 1 million households na to. Okay, so siyempre ang hassle. So instead of sampling each household, we can depend on select cities. Ito yung select cities, ito yung maging cluster. So let's say sa Cavite may PNB ako or Carmona at Maragondon Municipality. So sa tatlong, let's say Tagaytay na rin, sige Tagaytay, apat. So yung mga cities at municipalities, doon na lang ipilang yung mga clusters. Or doon na ipilang yung mga, sorry, yung mga average incomes ng mga tao. So instead na 1 million households, naka-separate lang siya. Pero syempre, dapat malawak pa rin yung tawag dito, yung i-sample mo na household. Or ang Maragondon, which is in the mountains, hindi siya the same as sa Bacoor, which is more populous. Populous, ganun. Maraming tao doon sa Bacoor. So, syempre, iba yung mga life, iba yung mga way of living sa dalawang towns na yon. So, kailangan pa rin na medyo diverse yung clusters mo. Convenient sampling, it's not necessarily random, pero it could be argued na medyo random siya, no? So kasi more on readily available siya in a non-random way. For example, yung mga naglalakad sa catwalk, yung mga naglalakad sa catwalk, kumbaga, for example ako, lalapit ako sa mga nasa catwalk, what is your thoughts, ganun? So, eto, as my example, a researcher polls learners as they walk by on the Acacia Lane. So yung population, yung sample population is readily available. Kasi ang akin lang, learners eh. Kailangan ko lang learners. At yung population, yung sample population, andun na sa catwalk. So, yung mga catwalk, kung ako nang bibigay yung survey, sagutan niyo to, 'di ba? So, pero this could be most likely bias sample. Kasi for example, kailangan ko ng questionnaire about, let's say, high school, yung way of life ng high school students, no? Kasi mga iba, syempre, gonna go work, let's say, midnight na. For example, ito, 11:44 ko ito ginagawa. So, yun, yung parang culture ng high school students sa mga tasks nila, sa mga works nila, ganun. And usually, ang nangyayari dito is, let's say, grade 7 ka. Syempre, okay, medyo, I don't know if kayo talaga, baka di lang ako aware. Pero, syempre, ang grade 7, mas less workload sa grade 12 sa upper high school na students, di ba? So, pwede rin yun. For example, learners might be grade school students. Syempre, yung mga grade school students, unti lang yung napigyan pa, di ba? So, andun yun. Siyempre, marami rin kailangan i-consider na factors. Pag ginagawa natin yung convenience sampling. Dapat aware ka rin kung saan tumatambay yung mga ganitong estudyante. So, para alam nyo kung sino yung tinatanong ninyo. Pero yun, convenience sampling, basically, non-random way siya, non-readily available. So, parang on the spot sampling. Ganun. On the spot. Yun yung keyword, on the spot. Lagay ko to dito. On the spot sampling. Yan. Okay, next. Purposive sampling. Non-probability samples based on the characteristics of population and the objective of a study. So medyo similar siya, no, sa stratified sampling. Pero eto, only. Sila lang talaga. Di siya naka-divide sa different groups. Katulad, let's say, yung sa UMS, STEM at ABM na mga grade 10 students na willing maging ABM, UMS at STEM. Di siya naka-divide sa tatlo. Ito, isa lang naka-focus. So, focus, focus only on one subgroup. So, for example, ito, a study, a researcher, a researcher wants to find the average nicotine level for smokers of 5 to 10 years. So, syempre, hindi ka divide, di ba? Ano yun, hindi ko divide ito naman na let's say 5 years, merong 6 years, may 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. Pero, nakafocus ka siya sa theme na may smokers of 5 to 10 years. No, walang 11 years, walang 4 years, walang 3 years. Nakafocus lang siya only for those who have been smokers for 5 to 10 years. No more, no less. So, yun. Ang ang kinaibahan dito sa stratified is that super purposive, focus lang talaga siya dito sa smokers of 5 to 10 years. Hindi siya, hindi siya ma-divide, kumbaga. Ayan. Next is quota sampling. Basically, wait lang balik ito. A sampling method that gathers representative data from each group. Opposing yung random na wala talaga. So, random talaga yung magiging sample nyo. Quota sampling requires that representative individuals are chosen out of a specific subgroup. So, basically, medyo similar siya doon or similar sa stratified. No? Ang quota sampling requires the representative individuals chosen out of a specific subgroup. So, sa quota sampling, dapat ang ma-attain natin is yung representative individuals. Okay, so what does that mean? Ang kailangan lang is, wait lang. Wait lang. Sorry. Okay, so going back, nag-pause ako ng screen share ko, ay ng recording. Ang quota sampling, kumbaga, it's just dividing the strata further. Kasi yung strata, nakadivide na siya. Okay, so yung quota sampling, you're dividing it further. So let's say, I have to find males na over 50 yung age. So, syempre, like, let's say, I have males over 50, females over 50, and people over 50. So, unknown yung sex nila. Ang kailangan is males over 50. May mga ibang males na bata. May ibang males na matanda, di ba? So, yung kuya sampling, it's just dividing further. Kasi we could group it into males, females, di ba? Pero, males under 50, yun yung mas nakadivide siya further. So, kumbaga, ano lang siya, strata, yung, yung stratified sampling, pero mas nakadivide lang siya further. Yun. So, sorry if na-confuse kayo doon. Last is yung sa snowball sampling or yung chain sampling. Think of it as multi-level marketing, pyramid scheme, ganun. So, ito yung, so let me read this. Existing study subjects recruit further subjects from among their acquaintances. So, ako, let's say dati, yung subject na ako ng research na to. So, I could recruit more subjects na pwedeng makatulong sa research ko or makatulong sa research sa other research ng researching company o kasi naman nag-research, di ba? So, for example, tawag dito, ako, tama na ako sa research study, pero may kailangan pang i-recruit ng other subjects or other samples. So, ang gagawin ko, let's say, ang sample na to kailangan, ito yung standards. Dapat, for example, of, let's say, 50 years old. Para ganun, 50 years old. Siyempre, we-recruit ako ng 50 years old. Parang ganun lang siya. So, bakit siya snowball? A sample builds up as we invite more. So, parang marketing, multi-level marketing. Enough data can be collected na maging useful sa research natin. And it can be a help din sa certain populations. Yung mga vulnerable, yung mga drug addicts, yung mga prostitutes, and yung mga na underlooked society natin. And usually ito kasi very difficult for researchers to access. So, it's like ni Miss Jo. So, kayo na ba nung ano? So, subject to numerous biases. Yan, subject talaga to numerous biases. Kasi syempre, yung mga friends mo yung yayaya mo na sumali dito di ba? So, yeah. Like what I said, yung bias na to, underlies in many different factors na kailangan nating i-consider. So, ayan. Yan. Okay, thank you for watching my video.